Hey, do you ever wonder what a Gen X thinks? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Gen X Talks.
Hola. ¿Cómo está? What's going on? Hey, that's like the only Spanish I know. I'm not even sure if I did it right. What is it? Hola. ¿Dónde está? ¿Cómo está? ¿Dónde es? Hey, how you doing? But translate that to Spanish. You got Google. You can do it. Welcome to another show. It is the Bottom of the Glass Nation show. I am your host, affectionately known as Gen X Dad or the General. Gen X Talks live streams, not really a podcast. It's more of a live stream. Now, we should be hearing me. I'm going up and down, but the microphone's going side to side. Looks like the pod track's moving up and down. Looks like Streamlabs is moving side to side. Everybody should be happy. And just so you know, this is a show where you apply common sense. I can show you a picture of a blue whale, and we can decipher that because we have reasoning in our brains. We have alcohol in our veins, and everything else comes and goes. Don't you forget it. Now, I'm going to drink and tell some lies tonight. You're going to drink. Your responsibility is to drink and believe those lies. If you're not drinking and believing the lies, you're not doing your part. It's a very symbiotic relationship. You must extend yourself. All right. Before we get going here, we have to start with the $1.2 million view. This is the Foxhole Studios in Minden, Nevada, inside the 9-mile exclusion zone. Snuck out this portrait not too long ago. It is, the sun is setting on the mountains around South Lake Tahoe, staring through a bottom-of-the-glass nation shot glass. The Sun Valley Fox has his glass. Do you have yours? Did you bring your glass? Do you have a glass number? Put your glass number in the comment section if you got one. If you didn't, you can just wish you did. Everybody raise a glass and drink. I'm drinking water tonight for health reasons, but the alcohol's coming soon.
Hey, somebody already guessed the $2 hoe.
How can we guess the $2 hoe? The show just got started. This is bullshit.
I'm just saying. Dragon Slayer Jade thinks it's low torque. Is it low torque? Wow. Guess we're done here.
Dragon Slayer Jade. Yeah, we're done. Okay, thanks. Good night. That's it, everybody.
That's it. We're done.
Dragon Slayer Jade, I'm sorely vexed.
We can take the cup down now. The glass.
I'm sorely vexed. I just got to say that. For God's sakes. All right. So we're going to go to we're not to the drag and drop section. We got to the beginning. The beginning goes to the middle goes to the end. And we're up. So this is the side by side. This is Gen X Mom and myself. How's everybody doing?
Hi. What's going on?
Just checking to see if you're there.
I don't see myself on the screen yet, but I'm here.
You are there.
Okay.
Everybody, Gen X Moms to my left, your right, and we're starting the show. Is there anything in the sheets you want to talk about?
Absolutely nothing. And get my boobs off the screen.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. What was that?
I can see the camera, the way it's positioned.
The camera's... Well, if the camera's going to rat me out, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. The camera did that. If the camera decided that it wanted to see your boobs, how is that my fault? How is that anything to do with me whatsoever? Yeah, now you're bouncing. Now that it's off the screen, you're bouncing where no one can see the bounce. That's nice. You just teasing. All right. Is that more to your liking? You're going to be a little baby about it now? I didn't even do it. It wasn't even my fault.
Oh, right. Even though you're in control of everything.
Did you see me clicking around? I just went to the screen and there it is.
Whatever. That's on you.
Sometimes it shows the top of your head. Sometimes it shows your boobs. I do not pick what happens around. I don't know. I bet if we put it to a vote, they'd want it back the other way. But this is not a democracy around here. This is a dictatorship. And tonight, I am the dick.
My goodness.
Of the dictatorship. All right. Do you have anything in between the sheets?
I do not think so. Let me check. Nope. Everything is clear. You may continue on.
All right. So before we get started on the drag and drop section of the program, I'm going to intervene with something. I have had 3 discussions today.
Regarding?
Trump and that airplane he got.
Oh, my goodness.
3. One of them
was Chris.
One was Chris Cuomo.
That's why you're in a cranky mood
we
tonight.
went on for the better part of the morning about stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
We got into things pretty heavily, but in the end, we still complimented each other, agreed, and we're okay. We're just talking. We're just talking here.
All right.
Couple of it were you guys, some people that I communicate often with, and then one was our son.
Which son?
The only liberal, tree hugging, pot smoking, computer fixing son we have.
Did he listen to the podcast?
I don't know. I just know.
How did he know today was the day to talk about that?
Everybody knew today was the day. I don't know. And he came at me and just said, so do you believe that Trump was okay accepting the plane? And do you believe Biden did the same thing? And this was, I said, look, Thursdays are such a busy day at Gen X Talks. I didn't have time to go through everything, but I said, listen, in my opinion, I said, Trump was good to accept the plane. I said, he accepted it. He told everybody I'm accepting it. And he said, I'm going to donate it to the presidential library. So it's really going back to you, the people. There you go. And I'm not even sure if Trump got it direct. Like, did they sign the paperwork over to Trump or did it go to the United States? I don't even know. I was under
the impression it was a gift to the United States, just like the Statue of Liberty was a gift to the United States.
Okay. Well, I don't know, but everyone is under the assumption that Trump received a gift and now he should go to jail. Trump received a gift and now he should be impeached. I mean, here we go again with all the stupid stuff. But my answer to everyone, including Chris Cuomo today, was basically I don't care. Everyone wants to compare it to to the Bidens. I'm like, the Bidens took a bunch of cash from China. They took a bunch of cash from Ukraine, and then they hid it. We had to go find it and expose it, and then they went, "Oh yeah, well, there's a story. I had a job. My son had a job. It was part of a, at least Trump came out and said, I got the fucking plane, and I'm giving it to the people of the United States."
Right.
The Bidens took a bunch of cash. They didn't tell anybody. We had to catch them. And then, did they give it to the United States? Did they put no?
I thought they were supposed to be transparent.
They kept it. We didn't get it back. All that money that Hunter got for all those years he was on the board of Burisma or whatever it was, did we get that back? No. So you can muddy the waters further, and that's usually what people do. Hunter and, Ivana Trump, she got some stuff. She got some patents from China, and Jared got some permissions over inside. Yeah, okay, here we go. Now you're going to try to muddy the waters. Let's just get the backing. Let's just talk about you guys took cash and didn't give it back even when you got caught. Trump didn't even hide it. Now, here's something I don't hear anybody talking about. So maybe this isn't a big deal. But wouldn't you guys agree? Now, I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. So what do I know? Honestly, what do I know? I swear to God, I'm just looking at this with as much basic common sense as possible. If they had said, "Hey, here's the F-15 fighter escort, here's the purple carpet, here's the handshake from the prince on the tarmac, here's the gold chain, all the stuff they were doing, and here's a plane," if he'd have said no, in their culture could that have gummed up the works? Would that have been a little insulting? I don't know. I'm just guessing. Maybe that wouldn't have been the time. You say yes, sort it out later. Say yes, take the plane. Sort it out later. Don't embarrass the guy. But you liberals would want that. You would want him to embarrass the guy right on national TV and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. The law says that I can't accept a plane, so sorry, I'm not taking the keys to your plane." Just me. That might have not gone over so well.
That's just common sense and being raised right.
It's common courtesy.
If somebody gives you a present, you accept it.
Yeah, you can come back later and go off camera and say, "Hey, So that was the big thing. And so the bottom line is, with everyone I talked to today, I said I don't give a shit about a fucking plane. I don't care. The whole experience over there seemed to go very well.
It's not costing the Americans any money to accept a plane.
Yeah, and Cuomo and I talked about something else too that was brought up, is that people say, well, over there, the Saudi Arabians, they're bad people. They killed Americans. Yeah, okay, well then let's keep hating Germany. Let's keep hating Japan. They killed Americans too. Well, it was a long time ago. So was it? Well, this was 80 years ago, and they killed people 20 years ago. And there's a different. You know what? If it's the same people in charge, the same prince, the same family, I might have something to say about it. But if it's different people, different regimes, I'm saying if Trump says it's time to move on, maybe he knows something we don't. Yeah, Gen X mom.
So Graham from Canada says Qatar supports Iran and Hamas. That's the problem.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore, Graham. You catching on, buddy? Not anymore. You see what's going on there? You can't go in there and have them spending money and attention. No. I'm telling you, the tide seems to have turned. Canadians, I tell you. Yeah, go ahead.
Dude says we can send cash, missiles, guns, tanks, jets to other countries, but no, America can't receive nothing.
No. Yeah, and we're getting contracts for stuff, too. They're spending a bunch of money. I'm telling you, for me, this is like making friends with your enemy's friend. He goes into Iran, and Iran's like, "Fuck you, Trump. We got all these countries that love us." And Trump's all, "Wait right there." I went over to Saudi Arabia. We're buddies. I went over to Qatar. We're buddies. Oops. Your list of friends is growing thin. And now Iran's like, well, maybe we could accept some. He's just picking off their friends one at a time. Everybody goes, "This is bad. It's bad." He's making friends and pulling. Do you want to be friends with the United States, or you want to be friends with Iran? Pick. And the thing is that every time that Trump goes out there and makes friends with another country that pisses Iran off, it's not like there's any secret that we're kin to Israel. So you can't say, well, over here in Saudi Arabia, we will be your friend, Trump, but you know that we want to annihilate Israel. Because Trump's coming in there, he's goddamn almost wearing the Jewish star on his lapel going, just so you know, we're going to work some shit out, but I'm watching over Israel, period. Doesn't matter who's in there, Netanyahu or the next guy, doesn't matter. We're watching over, not going to let shit happen to him. So he's going there picking off people. Why am I the only one who looks at it that way?
No, you've had some other people.
Why is everybody going, oh, just, I can't believe what he did. He's making friends with the enemy. No shit. Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? Then they're not the enemy anymore. Then if they did something right now, Trump could walk up and go, dude, I was just at your country. I was just in your house. And now you're doing this? How does Trump react when people betray him? How would that go over? It's like, okay, you fucker. What did he do to Benjamin Netanyahu Israel when he finally said, I think this dude's playing me? I think this is like we're brothers with Israel. And he came out and said, yeah, I'm kind of done with this shit. You're playing me.
Yep.
That was with one of our biggest allies that Trump does not like to be played with at all. And he's very vocal about it. I don't know why I'm the only person who can see this path the way it is, and I know why things are coming so clear to me right at this moment. I'm able to articulate because your boobs are off the screen. I'm not distracted. I'm okay right now. Everything's fine. I think from now on, if you want me to shut up, you should just stand up.
Oh, okay.
I'd lose my train of thought right then, and we'd back to square one.
Okay.
Yeah, Gen X mom.
Nothing. I was just saying there's people that are supporting you. We have Carly in here says, I definitely agree with Gen X Dad in YouTube.
Well,
so
you're the only one.
People.
There's just two of us now because all the people I talked to today were against me on this. Everyone was undermining me on this. The only thing that I will tell you is Chris Cuomo said, I really don't give a shit.
At the end of it all?
At the end of it all, he's like, about the plane.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. And what he did was he explained, he goes, Congress has made loopholes so they and presidents can receive gifts and do stuff. There's ways to package it. He was explaining, he goes, I really don't give a shit about a fucking plane. There's so many loopholes to how these things go.
Right.
I got what he was saying. I mean, he would be upset if a direct law was broken.
Right.
I think Chris would raise his hand and go, that's not fair. But at the same time, one of his words to me was, he's like, they make so many fucking loopholes in the system so they can all get what they want. Just fuck.
Right.
Let's get back to the important shit.
So Firewoo Dart on YouTube is saying, if you make friends with the high school bully, guess what? Nobody F's with you or your friends.
Right. The bully stops. Yeah. So I'm just saying that I think my gut reaction to looking at this, and here we go, and I'll say it before Gen X mom does. She'll be mad. She'll stand up. And her boobs on screen, so I'll shut up, and she'll sit down and go, this is why we need to go back to the World Show. This is why we got to do an hour of this instead of doing it in the bottom of the glass. This is where you write down your notes. She's been telling me this for a long time. She's not wrong. You're not wrong on that.
So Colonel Sanders cluckfuckers.
What? What did you just say?
That's the name.
Say it again.
Colonel Sanders cluckfuckers.
Colonel Sanders cluckfuckers? You mean... When he signed, where was he from?
That was Spineless Wonder Boners. He changed his name.
Okay, so we went from Spineless Wonder Boner to Colonel Sanders.
Fuckers.
What is it?
Cluck fuckers.
It's better than Limp Dick. He was Limp Dick.
He says, the only thing I'm worried about is that they're going to retrofit it and it's going to cost a lot of fucking money and hopefully it's not bugged. That's it.
Yeah, that's a concern I had too, is that, they said, well, we can use this as Air Force One. Because even you said the Air Force One we're using now is 30 years old. I got you.
That's on Boeing.
Yeah. And I just I don't know that I'd use it. What if there's something in it that a wing blows up or, they can listen to what, I don't know. I just, that whole thing, not that the FBI and the CIA couldn't go through that shit and figure everything out. I don't know though. I just would be, yeah, thanks, man. But I mean, you'd have to tear that whole thing back down.
I think they should be talking about what a slap in the face it is to Boeing. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
If Boeing would have got their shit together and got Air Force One done on the time frame that they said it would be done, maybe we wouldn't be here. But nobody's talking about Boeing and that they can't get it done they're delaying it like another 5 years or something.
Wouldn't that have been funny if Trump would have said, hey, thanks for the plane, but to be honest, Prince, I've already got one from Boeing. Oh, wait. No, I don't. Yeah. Thank you for the keys to the plane. Yeah, Boeing fucked me. Thank you. I will take this. Thank you I would have. You get one chance. You get one chance to throw that out there on public TV. That would have been great.
I'm just saying.
All right. So
They had their chance, but why isn't anybody saying that? I would have. If I was Trump, I would have said something to Boeing.
I guess I didn't want to turn this into a political discussion, but I got hit with that today about the plane. It was always about the plane. But
I do have something funny, though.
All right.
Because on the flip side of that, the Saudis ordered 150 Boeing planes.
Right.
Now, wait. Now, are they not going to come? Are they not going to fulfill that order? I mean, they just spent billions of dollars on 150 planes.
Right. Yeah.
So what, are we going to push Air Force One aside now?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Boeing's already got paid from us, and they cashed the check and they spent it. They spent it on hookers and whiskey a long time ago. That money's gone. When this order comes in, they're going to go back to the government and go, look, we were supposed to build you another Air Force One, but come on, you got another plane. Just use that one. Just use the one they gave you. We're going to get on these orders.
All of a sudden, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay. So,
oh my God, it's just going to blow over like everything else. I swear to God.
I just don't give a shit.
I swear.
All right, can I start my program now?
Oh, we're done with that?
I think so. I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
Did you send out smoke signals today?
I did. Who's bitching? Let me guess.
I'm just asking. Diabolito, did the general send the email?
Yes, he did. I sent out smoke signals at 5:30.
Okay, and Thomas on Facebook wants to know, how was the move? Are you all unpacked? We haven't finished moving yet.
We haven't even finished moving yet. We can't unpack until we pack and drive it up there. Then we can unpack. All right, I'm starting the show.
Would you get busy? It's already 20 minutes in,
of
man.
The program.
Am I off the screen now?
Your boobs are off the screen. Okay. So let's see, you guys, what they're talking about with the emails and the smoke signals is Patreon. A lot of times, Facebook or Rumble or YouTube doesn't tell you that we're going live, but we do. If you join Patreon, everyone should be putting up, all the moderators should be putting up the Patreon link on X, on Twitch, wherever you're watching, they got to put it up there for you. Just join Patreon. It's $1. Not only do you get an email half an hour before the show reminding you, it's just a quick couple sentences saying, hey, we're going on. You decide what you do. You decide to watch it or don't, but at least you know it's your choice. Also, when you join Patreon, you get 4.5 years of behind-the-scenes stuff. Everything that is not fit for public consumption is posted. We never delete it. It's up there forever, but you got to be a member to watch it. You got to spend that $1. You got to go dig in the cushions of your couch for 4 quarters, put it inside of your computer, and send it in. That's the way it's got to work. Okay. You guys know that we are hiding 50 coins across the United States, 50 physical coins in 50 physical places. Coin number 40 has just been hidden by our very own Dr. Shadowlight in the Banana Sauce Union. I will put up tomorrow the location, the area it's in by GPS. Then you have to drive there and search for this, where this might be. And I'm not telling you where it is. It could be, now, that could be glued to a rock. That could be glued to the eyeball of a statue carved out of a mountain called Crazy Horse. Yeah. Or it could be the underside of a toilet in the women's bathroom at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. I'm not telling you. But you got to drive there and check it out. That's the fun of these things. Once they're all caught, once they're all grabbed, once they've all been secured, then we move on to the next phase and big prizes come in. There's prizes for this one, but there's bigger ones coming up. So we did Patreon. We did the gold coin. All right, I got to talk about this. I never talk about this shit, ever. And I never click on the links. And for some reason today, this came up, and that's, Diddy and his chick. I don't even know what her chick, Christine or Chrissy, or I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. And the only reason I clicked on it was because I guess she was in court crying. She's the one who got beat up in the hallway. She was the chick who got the shit kicked out of her. So no matter what, the dude should be in jail for that forever. It
wasn't like just he did a beat down.
Oh, he beat down. Yeah.
He didn't just smack her once.
No.
He beat the crap out of her.
Right. So all I'm saying is you do something like that, you should be buried alive under the jail. They should drop it on you and leave you there forever. However, not talking about that beating part, they called them freak-offs, the big sex orgies that he had. So apparently she was part of them. And she's testifying against him. Right. And she's saying, oh, it was terrible. He made me do it. And he made me have sex with all these men. And I hated it. He was abusive, emotional, blah, blah, blah. Okay, got you. But now the reason I clicked on the story is today they were going through her text messages and she was trying to explain them.
Okay.
Because she was talking to him in the text messages about, well, don't get this escort service because they're new. They don't know us. We're trying to keep this quiet. I prefer the men and the women in this escort service. So if you're going to set one of these up, let's call these people, not those people. Then they focused on afterwards. She was like, yes, I had a good time. Yes, it was fun. She's up there going, I had to lie the whole time. Yeah, I'm sure that was just a terrible experience to have sex with all these hot guys that you were picking from these services. I just telling you that I get that you don't abuse a woman. I don't know why she couldn't just go in there and tell the truth. And she goes, look, I probably wouldn't do it again, but at the time I wanted to. It was fun. We did all this shit, but I shouldn't have got the shit kicked out of me. But the more you deny this stuff, the more you look like you're lying about all this other stuff. She's trying to distance herself from it. And she looks, everybody knows she's lying. Everybody knows she's fucking lying about the whole thing. She was way into it. She had a good time. She won't admit it. So the prosecution's going to have, or the defense can have an easy time just going, this chick lies about everything. She can't even admit what she did. She's probably lying about, some of the things that happened when she got beat up. I think it'd be much more truthful if she just went in and said, okay, all the freaky shit, I liked it, I did it, I probably wouldn't do it again, but that has nothing to do, I didn't deserve to get beat up. That would seem more credible. Just admit where you were at and move on. What is the big deal? I don't understand that, but there she is playing the victim when the defense is cross-examining her. Yeah, go ahead.
Sweets is commenting on YouTube saying, honestly, General, I usually agree with you, but when one is frequently being beaten, we often give in to what our spouses want. I
agree with that. And I see, that's the thing. We don't know. Was she giving in? Was she playing the role because she was being beaten? Or was she enjoying it and she had a good time? How would we know the difference? Sweets could easily be right. That could easily be the way this plays out, is that, you know what? I just couldn't tell him no. The more into it he thought it was, then he left me alone. So I pretended to really enjoy it. I pretended to go along with it because that made my life easier and he didn't beat me. That could totally be true. But it could also be true that she was way into all that stuff and just didn't like the beatings. If he hadn't beaten her, she might still be doing it. I will admit, if you will, Sweets, that we don't know. I'm just saying from the credibility point of view, by the way these you could paint it either way. To me, it just seems like just fucking admit it, because it seems to me, now I have not been following this story very closely at all, because I really don't give a shit, other than this came up as a little bit of hypocrisy to me, but maybe not, is that she and this guy were doing these type of things. They've been seeing each other for 11 years? These freaky things were going on way before the beating started. And if so, how would you explain that? I'm just saying. I don't click on these things. You guys, in 4 years, you've never heard me talk about this stupid shit. I think the last time I talked about celebrities was back when Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith. That's how long it's been. All right, moving on. I'll bet I know a story you haven't heard of. Well, let's see. Sammy Joe has heard of it, I'm sure. Disney kid on staff, I'm sure, has heard of it. But Gen X mom, this will be news to you. All right?
All right.
So Disneyland is having their 70th anniversary down in Disneyland and California Adventure. They put a big thing up. I'll show it. Let me show it to you. They put a big that's off the screen. They put a big thing up there between California Adventure and Disneyland. It's a little iconic. Hey, we've been here for 70 years and we're doing our thing in Disneyland and California and blah, 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 blah. Now, the spires up on top there's, I don't know how many, there are 6 or 7 of them. They have little decorations on them showing some of the historical things, just the little brass cutouts of what they had up there, representing some things from the past. A little bit better. So there's a carousel. I'm guessing that's the carousel ride. The one on the left looks like the riverboat. I think that's the Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain riverboat thing.
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain looks like one. And then you see the one up on top is it looks like
a statue of
Disney holding Mickey's hand. Okay, that's the problem. They had to take it down a few weeks after putting it up.
Why?
I'm going to see if you know why. I'm going to post this for you. What do you think? Just take a look at the picture. This is a zoomed in picture. Why do you think?
Looks like Trump.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You can't tell me that the dude who did that didn't know what he was doing. And here's why. Have you ever seen a picture of Walt Disney that looks like that? Did he ever have a toupee sticking out front? Did he ever have one of those, a beret? Maybe he's wearing a beret. Maybe Walt Disney was wearing a beret in this picture. You have never in your life seen a silhouette of Walt Disney that looks like that. You have to know that the dude who did it on purpose. There's no way that's an accident.
Okay, but let's be real about something.
Yeah.
When you showed that big picture far away, I didn't even notice.
No.
Now, somebody must have been sitting there, like, really eyeballing that thing.
They had to have been. Can you imagine? Well, in between the parks, you're out there.
And you're walking by really quickly. Like,
yeah, you're going by from one park to the next, or you're looking to get your ticket. You got to go to the booth.
Oh, my
and this
God.
thing's in the center. Somebody had to go, wait a second. That fucking looks like Trump. And they're right. It does. I can't imagine a picture. Go ahead and show me a picture from history where Walt Disney himself looks anything like that.
That's funny. Well, speaking of Disney,
Yeah.
Kelly Cat has a question for you.
All right.
She wants to know, general question, how do you feel about Disney wanting to build a park in a country where being gay is a crime? That's what
How
she's
do I
asking.
feel about Disney building Disneyland, a resort in a country?
Building a park in a country where being gay is a crime. How do you feel? Callie Cat would
I
like
don't
to
know.
know.
I didn't really think about it. I mean, that's Disney's decision. I can't imagine Disney would do that, though. The backlash they would get because they're beholden to the LGBTQ woke community. If Disney wants to do that, I don't care. That's like saying, would you want Disneyland to build one in a communist country that hates democracy or a socialist country? No, I probably wouldn't care for that, because I'm thinking that wouldn't you have to abide by the laws and rules of that country?
I believe so.
Like if you went to, what are the South?
They're not like a sovereign area.
No.
They're not Disneyland isn't a nation when you go
No.
put it there.
It's not a U.S. embassy.
No, and I believe Disneyland in Japan has to follow their culture, their
Well-
rules. I even believe Mickey and Minnie walk around in dress. I believe too. It sometimes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that.
Do they make Donald Duck wear pants?
I don't know.
I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. I don't know. I mean, I don't. I can think of other things that would come to mind too. That if I wouldn't. The other saying, well, would you go to a Muslim country where they beat women, where they marry old men to 12-year-olds? Would you oppose Disneyland building there? Well, I don't know. If you think of it like this, if you think of Disneyland going to a country and saying, we're going to build something in your country. By building here, we're saying we agree with you. By building and bringing business and tourism to your country, we are saying that we agree with you. Well, in that respect, I'd say no to a ton of shit. I would say no to a ton of countries. But I'm not. But I'm going to err on the side of capitalism and say it's your money. Go do what you fucking want. But I would if I thought about it that way, and maybe this is the conclusion I would draw. Is if you go to a country and say, we're building in Japan because we love you guys. We're going to build one in France because we love you guys. We're going to build one in Iran because we love you guys. I mean, I think maybe as we're talking this through, and this is the first time you've brought it up, I didn't have time to think about this. I might be leaning towards opposing it based on the fact that it looks like you're abiding and supporting and aligning yourself. I mean, Disney would be better off to make a stand saying, sorry, dudes, until you get your shit together, fuck off. We're not coming over there.
Yeah, Shy for $2 says Disney is in a communist country, China. I don't think they're in China. I think they're in Japan.
They're in Japan. I don't think there's
they're
one
in
in China.
I
No,
do
what
not
is
think-
okay? There's two in America.
There's Disney World in Florida. There's Disneyland in
There's-
California.
there's-
There's France.
Yep.
There's Japan.
Yep. And there's one more somewhere, but I can't remember
And-
where.
Help me out, people.
Is there one more? Is that it? No, there was one more. I don't know. I didn't think it was in China.
Trippy says there's one in Shanghai, in China.
Okay. Well, I guess there could be.
Okay. Well,
Now,
Shanghai's it.
So then, do you is that aligning yourself? Do they say, well, we believe in you, China. We love you, China. We're supporting you. Kinda does. But it depends on how much you hate something, too. You know, if you hate the Communist Party that bad, you would be opposed to Disneyland doing it. You know, if you hate racism so bad, you would never let them build something in South Africa. I mean, you know, there's just things you wouldn't do. You'd be like, no, I oppose this.
I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right. I'm wrong.
Anyway, I don't know. It's an interesting question. Hadn't really thought about that before.
So something happened, I think, right before. I don't know if you saw it on X, but Donnie over on Facebook wants to know something. He said, hey, what do you think about Comey? Remember Comey?
Yeah.
Posting 8647. He did it in shells. Supposedly Secret Service is going to pay him a visit. He wants to know, what do you think about it?
I just caught the headline of that before the show. And he's already under investigation now because of it. They already said the DOJ is like, okay, you know, you have a file on you now with people looking into what you're doing. And I don't know anything about what's going on.
Right.
I have no idea, but I think I just don't think you can fuck around with this DOJ. I just don't think
it's
Pam
not
Bondi.
Just that. He said 8647. That is saying you want to kill the president. Like you're coming out in a code.
Now hold on. Does that kill him? Isn't 86? What does 86 mean?
Take him out?
Really? So if you're a cop and you say I'm code 86, like you're dying? No, I'm at lunch. I'm code 86. I'm offline. I'm not. Don't call me. I'm off the clock for a little while. I'm going to go have some lunch. I'm code 86. Isn't that what that means? And like in LAPD, wasn't code 86 like I'm off the clock for now? I'm going to go have lunch.
You're right.
Are you going to say I'm dead? Because every cop that calls in code 86, are they fucking dead? I'm just asking.
I'm wondering because I thought
code 86 when we were growing up as Gen Xers, like, you're out of here. 86 that guy. Get him out of the party. 86 that guy. Get him out of the building. 86 that guy. He's out of here. Never did it mean kill somebody.
Danny H says 1064 around here is lunch. 107 is out of service.
Okay, well,
get out is 80.
Is 86 was get out? It was never kill anybody. If you
like 86, Jeremy B goes 86 is removed from the menu. 86 means remove, like get out.
Right, not kill anybody.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a Comey fan, but it didn't sound like he said go cut off his head. It just meant to get him out. Okay, well, people can say that. They're allowed to say that.
I don't know, but why even bring it up?
Because Comey's not in the limelight anymore. Comey's got to be investigated. Comey's got to be in the headlines. It's been a year since his name was brought up.
I don't know. I would have stayed quiet.
No shit. I would have stayed under Trump's radar as long as possible, but I'm just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. What do I know? All right. Where was I? Dump. Trump. Oh, yeah. I got to pay a little bill here. Please play Wordle. The New York Times has Wordle for free. Good moderators can put up the link for you right now to the New York Times. You play it for free, but what you do when you finish is they say copy, and you just click the button and it copies your answers. And you go over to Discord. Gen X Talks has a Discord server. It's just a chat room for old people. It's old guys like you and me, and we hang out and talk about stuff. And there's a Wordle room. There's one for cars. There's one for politics. There's one for food. There's one for Dayton, our move to Dayton. And
you can even
main
peek
chat
over my shoulder during the day to find out.
Yeah, there's a cam in there where you can watch what we're doing. I'm pointing at it right now. Hello, everybody watching it. You can do that, but there's a Wordle room, and you play against staff, and you play against others. It has your name in there, and we see how we did. Which reminds me, if Dr. McDreamy is listening, he's really starting to make me upset.
Why?
It's like he wants to participate in some of the Gen X Talk stuff without participating in some of the Gen X Talk stuff. He finds one of the gold coins and won't send me a picture of it. Like, no, I'm not sending you a picture of the gold coin that I found.
I forgot about that.
I have to go get a picture of him looking for the gold coin that his wife, MarcyZavala.com, took and used that picture because he's too cool. Then he goes into Wordle, does Wordle, screenshots it and sends it to you. Like, here, go ahead and post this in. I'm not going to go into Discord, but you go ahead and post it for me. It's like, dude, fucking shit or get off the pot.
You know what? To his defense,
if
he was in Wordle, do you not think that everybody would bombard him with questions?
Yeah, they probably would.
I'm just saying.
I mean, there's a certain number of people.
There's a person called the General that bugs him all day long. So
that's a lie. I very rarely bother him about. I only call him when I'm extremely at the end of my rope. But there are a lot of people that would respect him and just stay away. They wouldn't say, "Hey, Dr. McDreamy, my left knuckle hurts really bad. What do you think it could be?"
I thought you were going to say my left nut.
What is wrong with
I just started laughing.
What is wrong with you? Why would I say his left nut?
I don't know. That's what I thought was coming out of your mouth.
No, I was. There is so much wrong with you. I swear to Christ Almighty.
Oh my gosh, it is so freaking
There's a
funny.
certain number of people that would bug. Oh, I have access to Dr. McDreamy. He's in Discord. I'm going to bug him with all sorts of shit. There's other people that would just leave him alone out of respect, and they would just say, "Hey," when they saw him go by main chat. But to my defense on this, you can't be like, "Well, I'll kind of participate, but kind of just get the fuck on and post your shit." Dr. McDreamy, jump in and post your shit. Go fucking around, man. You're going to be a dick about it. Just do it. Let's go. All right.
gosh.
So there you go with that one.
I needed that laugh. And you know what? There's lots of people on YouTube that are saying they thought the same thing. They thought that's what you were going to say.
Thought I was going to say my left nut.
Yes.
I got to be honest with you. I mean, I've known Dr. McDreamy for 57 years or so. I got to tell you, I don't think nuts are his specialty. I don't think that's his area of expertise.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying he's not known as the nut doctor. So no, I would not have said the nut. Not at all.
No, he wouldn't. Everybody's saying they thought that's what you were
Well, I
gonna
didn't say that. You shame on all of you.
We were all in the gutter.
Shame on each of you for thinking something so
time I've been shamed on.
despicable. What did you just say?
Not the first time I've been shamed on.
All right, listen.
Hey, Twitch, somebody on Twitch, Smolent691 says, hydrate. I don't know who that is, but they're telling you to hydrate.
Nicely said.
Top Knots Rule, member for 32 months tonight. And, where am I? T-Bone76 gifted 5 Gen X Talks memberships tonight.
And there's T-Bone starting off the membership strong with 5. All right, so drag and drop section of the program. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys, and I love Florida. I don't mean to pick on Florida.
Man, we haven't been down this road in a while.
I don't mean to pick on Florida. But if these stories are true, they're some of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever heard of on the planet. I'm just saying. Naked Florida man discovered eating ramen in a restaurant as police search for a different burglar that ate chicken wings. I read the story.
Wait. Naked Florida man discovered eating ramen in a restaurant. Yeah. Like, nobody questioned that? It must be so common.
I know. I read the article. So they call the cops and go, there's a dude that broke into our restaurant. They're in the back room, and he's eating chicken wings. He stole a bunch of chicken wings, and he ran to the back room eating them. Cops show up, said, all right, clear the building out. Let's go find the naked chicken wing guy. They stumble across this naked guy eating top ramen. They arrest him, and the owner goes, no, not him. There's a different guy. And they went back in and found the guy eating chicken wings. So I'm not sure what the fuck you guys are doing in Florida.
I question the authorities right now.
I question that those two guys went to the same meth dealer and got on the same drugs, because that's fucking rare. I mean,
wow.
Good for you guys, but Jesus Christ. Okay, what else?
Good luck with that
Florida.
one.
Yeah. Florida man told the police when he was arrested he was playing basketball in the park naked because it helps his game. It improves his skills. I read the article on this.
It is really damn hot and humid down there.
Okay, well, he's lying. Because you cannot say playing basketball with your junk flopping around makes your game better. No. I will tell you from experience, that is distracting.
Isn't that slapping it around?
Yeah, there's no way you could not go out there. I mean, truthfully, if your junk is so small it doesn't matter, maybe.
Yeah, Chef John goes free balling, puts a whole new word.
Yeah, this is literal free ball. Chef John's right. This is the definition of free balling. And the cops didn't buy it. They arrested him, and he was like, I play better naked, man. Yeah, well, you're in the park with children and women. You just put your pants back on. He didn't want to do it. I'm not picking on Florida, but Florida man steals 75 pool floats for sex.
Wait, what?
Yes, 70. Now, the problem with this is there was no art.
I want to know what the pool floats look like.
There was not a long article to read on this. There was like 2 lines of a caption. And I assumed, well, now maybe his wife says, hey, let's do that pink flamingo thing. Go down and get me some of those inflatable pink flamingos and let's go. I was hoping.
But that's not where my mind went. This guy is sick.
Let's see if you, what do you think he stole from the pool supply store?
I don't know. The first thing off my list is like a whale. I don't know. They have whale floaties.
You think he was out there giving badonkadonk to an inflatable whale?
I don't know.
He took a bunch of those noodles. Yeah, see, you got it right. You knew pool noodles.
Well, then I'm sorry to say, but that man has a little pecker.
What?
That doesn't have a really big. Yeah, well.
Well, anyway, so yeah.
Okay.
Florida. There you go. Now, again, not trying to pick on Florida. Florida Highway Patrol, Florida man driving a Cadillac from his sunroof, standing up, says he'd rather go to jail than go back to his wife. Now, I would laugh at this. I would mock this. I would say, good job for arresting this man. But I think we all, at some point, have felt like driving a Cadillac down the road. Now, you know he's steering with his Johnson right now because he's got his hands out. He's doing Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm king of the world. He's driving down that Cadillac with his Johnson. And how many of us have said, I'd rather go to jail than go back home where that psycho derelict bitch from hell is currently residing?
You've never said that to me.
Well, not to you. But
You've never thought that.
Well, you think pretty highly of yourself, don't you, Mrs. Queen? Your crown has not always been on so straight, my love.
It might be a little crooked, but that doesn't mean anything.
So just so you know, all right, the guy needed to go to jail because he could have harmed somebody else, but only in Florida. But I got to say, I think we've all had that feeling, guys. At some point, have we just fucking take me to jail? I'm not going back home.
Wow, they're all raising a glass to you. So
there we go. All right, one more from Florida.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on now. Florida woman drops her pants, licks a man.
What?
Dances naked in the Waffle House parking lot.
Okay. Okay. I'm a little confused.
I know, because in my wife's mind, she's thinking, is that a crime? Can you not do that? Can you not dance naked in the Waffle House parking lot? It isn't what it says right there. Florida woman drops pants, licks man, dances naked in the Waffle House parking lot. Again, if we haven't done that ourselves, how many times you women thought about it? Come on, be honest. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you thought about doing it. Raise two if you've done it.
Which Waffle House asking for a friend?
Yeah. So you raise one hand if you thought about it, and you raise two hands if you've done it. I'm just saying. I'm not directly opposed now. I know that she had to get arrested in public nudity. I'm just saying. Yeah, Gen X mom.
Sahara H says you haven't lived until you've been naked in a Florida Waffle House parking lot at 4 a.m. drinking chocolate milk.
That's my girl. Sahara H says that. Yeah, Sahara H is standing up in front of her TV right now, pissed, going, "Where's the crime here? Where's the crime?" Danny H is looking at her going, "We need to move where there's a Waffle House." Her husband's going, where's the Waffle House right now?
He made a comment too.
Danny H is going to be like, we going to Waffle House and I'm carrying the chocolate milk. Let's go.
He said that's just another Tuesday night at the Waffle House. Wow.
There's obviously some things about Danny H and Sahara H that we all don't know. All right, moving on. So yeah, I'm not trying to pick on Florida, but my God, sometimes you folks are an easy target. All right. Seems
like they're the only ones in the news.
I'm just letting you know. Yeah. This switching gears now, we talked a little bit today on the podcast, which will drop tonight at midnight, 12:02 a.m. for you people in Rio Linda. That's a nice pull for anybody who remembers what that means. Briggs has come a long way, following instructions, taking care of things like a man, responsibility. And as we're moving, from one place to another, he's handling the move, disassembly and reassembly very well. Now, I could show you the new place we're moving to where pictures are hung up correctly, but that's not much of a picture. I could show you where things have been put together correctly, but that's not much of an image, is it? But I can show you a picture similar to Briggs a few years back when he was trying to hang a TV, finally got the TV hung because he finally figured out where the stud was in the wall. So let's go back in time a little bit because he's way, way past this now. This is about the best time I can show you here. I knew that stud was in there somewhere. Follow me for more do-it-yourself projects. You see that? That's what we were dealing with. That's the kind of incompetence that childhood brings with you. And you just keep drilling until you find it. Which, that was my wife 25 years ago. And she didn't do that anymore. She's much better about that now. She's learned how to use
a stud finder.
A stud finder. She couldn't believe that was the name of the tool. She ran right out. I mean, the moment she figured out what a stud finder was, she ran right out.
I put that in my purse. Just saying.
She ran out to the UPS guy, didn't beep. FedEx guy, didn't beep. Amazon guy, didn't beep. She's like, God damn, I think this thing's broken. No, you just have the wrong delivery men. All right. They're not all like the ones in the movies, honey. Not all the delivery men do that. They're very different. What else was there? You guys know Trippy Pineapple. Everyone knows Trippy Pineapple. Bringing him up because he's on his way out the door at Gen X Talks. He's picking up his whole life and moving to the East Coast. One day will be his last day here as executive top officer, a top staff member here at Gen X Talks. But I wanted you guys to know that he dabbled in L.A. He dabbled before he decided to uproot his life. He is a building inspector. That is his trade. But for the last 10 years or so, he's been heading out to Riverside, San Bernardino, and Chatsworth, where all the porn auditions were. And once you do a little porn, you can get yourself known. You can get a portfolio. You can get into legitimate movies. And he did. He did. So for those of you who might know what this is, Trippy Pineapple, I saw him in one of his first roles on HBO the other day. I don't know if you guys know the name of this TV series. I've watched it several times, but there's Trippy Pineapple. And he had a co-starring role in an HBO limited series. I just can't watch it without knowing it's Trippy, though. I wish it was like I didn't know it was him because I could enjoy the movie, I could enjoy the story. But every time I see him, I'm like, there's Trip. It's Trip. And then, because you know the guy. You like knowing a celebrity. It's really good. So those of you who know what this is from, there's our very own Trippy Pineapple in a co-starring role in an HBO series. He filmed it, and he got paid. He did not choose to stay with this profession. He's picking up roots and moving back to Boston for Sammy Joe. But that's a good one right there. Got to let you guys know some of the good stuff. All right. Another one is... got a ton of emails and a ton of messages after Christine Matlock, who's married to Ben Matlock.
Never lost a case. Sorry, I took a drink.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Boy, you're just... I need a button to light up buzz your ass where you jump up and say the things.
Sorry.
So the dinner that we had, and this is at the Sun Valley Fox's house. This is inside the foxhole, inside the 9-mile exclusion zone of the foxhole in Minden, Nevada. But everybody was supportive. I think every email we got, every message that I got from you guys was just good job, Christine. Way to go. Can't wait to see what she does with this. Everybody knows it's going to take time, but everybody was supportive of Christine. Let's get after this. Let's do it. Let's push this thing. And I really think she's going to. I think it's going to be a great year for Gen X Talks. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm passing along to Christine all of the names of everyone who has said something in support. Good job. We can't wait. Do a good job. Do your best. We can't wait to see what you've got. It was nice of you guys to take the time to write those things. I'm just acknowledging it here. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Real quick, we have I always put out the podcast pictures. Hey, don't forget to go see the podcast. Don't forget to look at the podcast. Don't forget to see the podcast. And I've always got an image that goes along with it. Today, I couldn't decide. So I have a few for you to choose from. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit to you the Gen X Talks podcast with clowns.
Yee.
Gen X Talks podcast with clowns.
I don't know if I like that.
Well, I'm asking you because you're in the picture too. The Gen X Talks podcast with hot women. See there? See what I did there? Sun Valley Fox already raising his glass slowly across his living room going, well, stop there. Stop there, sir. We're done. That's good enough. Gen X Talks podcast with hamburgers.
Oh, my God.
Can we do that one? And the one that I think you're going to go for, the Gen X Talks podcast with a forest, little camping area, a little forest on there. So whichever.
I like that one the best.
Well, unfortunately, it's not up to you. Unfortunately, you have to figure out which one. Low Torque wanted one of you rescuing me out of a pool.
It does look like that.
Because it looks like you're pulling me to safety. So, all right. Anyway, so we'll put one of those up there. I think we're going to go with the hot women one, but I haven't quite decided yet. Another thing we talked about on the podcast, since we're talking about the podcast, yes, on the top of the pass, Carson Pass, we pulled over, let the dogs out, and Gen X mom noticed a flat tire on someone. They're trying to change a flat tire in the car in front of us, and I said, "Hey, roll down the window. You guys need some help?" It was 4 guys from France. No fucking clue to what they were doing. Not a clue on how to change that tire at all.
They would have been there for hours.
Yeah, they had a little scissor jack already expanded as far as it would go, and they were trying to figure out where to put it. I'm like, no, you got to lower it down, put it under the car, then expand it, and as you expand it, you lift the car. And they're like, what? Only however you say what in French. I don't know. In Spanish, it's okay, right? Well, so I said...
they spoke English, or at least one of them did.
One of them did. The guy in the blue hoodie did speak pretty good English. And I told Briggs, I said, go grab our jack. We had a floor jack accessible. They had the tool for doing the lug nuts, and I made sure that, because they didn't know how to open the tool that folds up to a piece about this big. So we did that for them. We knocked it out in about 3.5 minutes. They were very grateful, and on they went. So that was my good deed for the day. And the only reason I bring that up isn't to tell you I'm a great, wonderful person. We already know that. That's already been established. The reason I bring that up is to let you guys know that even 6 months ago, I probably would have wanted to help someone, but physically getting out of a car, walking around, standing there, changing a tire, helping Briggs do it, I couldn't have done it. My knees, my hips, my ankles, my legs, I would have been winded. I would have just been like, fuck it, I'm going to go sit in the truck. Now I can do this with my weight loss. Any of you following the Fat Guy page, you'll know where I'm at. I've crossed the line to where now I can go minutes, and I'm hoping to stretch that into a full hour or more. I can go 15, 20, 30 minutes of up, moving, jumping around, doing things, and I couldn't 6 months ago. I couldn't 4 months ago. And I've crossed that line. The weight has come down. The stamina's come up. This was a no-brainer for me. If you ask my wife, I used to stop and help people all the time. That was just part of traveling with me, is that if I saw someone with their hood open, I'd stop every time, see if I could help. I just did. I haven't done that in years because I can't fucking do it. I can't physically help. Now I'm getting back to where I can, and the first opportunity that I saw something, guess what? I jumped out and tried to do something about it.
You didn't even hesitate.
No, not even a little bit. I was on it. All right. So I want to cover some stuff because it's the end of the year. It's graduation. It's prom time. This was a picture that came across. It said prom in the 80s. And I went, I don't know about that. That didn't even seem prom in the 70s. Prom in the 80s. I mean, the dresses, I guess the frilly stuff up here, the ruffles reminded me of maybe prom in the 80s. But I got stuck on one of them. That woman, or I'm sorry, she looks like a 34-year-old secretary in the middle of that. She's with the blue and the red hair, blue dress, red hair. She does not look. Who did that hair and said, "This is"? Let's pretend this is 1984. Who did her hair and said, "This is what everyone's wearing. This is the really cool. Wear this to prom." In 1984. There's no way. I don't even know what hairstyle that is, but there is no way that anybody... No. Can you explain that? You're a woman. I need an explanation.
I have no explanation whatsoever, really. I have no idea.
Would you have ever had your hair look like that?
No, I was into big hair in the 80s.
I don't get that at all. And was that a 70s look? It doesn't even look like a 70s look. It looks like a middle-aged woman trying to look young. To me. That's what it looks like to me. What do I know?
Somebody's mother.
I think so. I think somebody's mom snuck in the picture.
I mean...
Here's another one. Now, you take a look at her face. I don't even know why someone would post this picture on the internet and why you guys sent it to me. This is a prom date? She is not happy.
No. You know who that looks like? That looks like one of the Avenger guys. The Ant-Man.
Yeah.
That Paul Rudd?
Yeah, that's Ant-Man. And
that looks like him.
And that's your friend... Christy. That's your friend Christy from high school, and that's Ant-Man. And I don't know, but in this picture, just to me, if you guys are asking me to evaluate it, Ant-Man ain't getting no badonkadonk tonight.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's getting nothing because she just looks like she's looking at a clock saying, how long until I can leave?
She's looking, do I have to go?
Yeah, she's not happy about this one. Now, this picture, it actually seems pretty normal to me. And I was like, okay, this is a pretty dull picture. It's obviously clearly 80s. I get that. I just had one comment about the dude. That is a hell of a mustache for a senior. That is a hell of a mustache for an 18-year-old kid. Is it not? At 18, this guy's got that rivals Samuel Elliott. It does. It just you look at that, you're like, holy shit, that dude's got a stash. And it's not some 70s porn stash that he's trying to make. No. That guy had he started growing that in 6th grade. Just saying. Props to that guy. All right. Got any more of these? We got one or two more. All right. Bum. Okay. It says 1988 right there in the background, but I would have known this was 80s, not only by his hair, but hang on a second. This just looks like an album cover from the 80s to me. If someone put this as an album cover, I would have said, yeah, what band is that? Is that Berlin? Is that Missing Persons? It's an album cover from the 80s.
It looks like it.
If you hadn't written that there, I would have still guessed mid-80s. That's what it looks like to me. So well done on the decorating committee, whoever did that. What's another one that's coming in there? All right. I've got a problem with this one. This one actually has a thing where it says April 25th. And if you look in the bottom left, I'll move it up for you for a second. 1981. See that in the bottom? 4/25, 1981.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably late 70s.
Okay, to me, look at her dress, though. Look at her little shawl thing.
That looks like a wedding.
This is Little House on the Prairie meets Disco Duck. That dude is disco era. She's Little House on the Prairie. I'm just saying. And March is a little bit early to be or April's a little bit early to be having a formal anyway, but I'm letting you know that I took issue with this performance. So I just need to be clear on that. Now, something else we got here. I don't know how well you can see this. I have only seen a couple of pictures in my life where a guy is standing with his arm around a girl with this much confidence. In fact, if I had to really think about it, I'm going to tell you, I've seen 7 pictures my whole life where a guy has this much confidence with a girl. 1 was me, of course. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 were all the Sun Valley Fox with 6 different chicks. That level of confidence, every single picture, every time. Now, this guy either has an enormous amount of confidence in himself or he chose to stand in front of that Lincoln Continental because he knows that Lincoln is one sweet ride. He made sure he could have stood in front of anything. He's like, no. We're standing in front of my Lincoln. That thing floats down the road like a Cadillac. No questions asked. That thing floats down the road. And that's why that guy has that level of confidence. And there's no question about it. You don't see guys at prom, they usually have their fist or their hands not touching or they kind of wrap around. No, this guy's got her by the arm, pulling her in. That look right there. He's either super confident in his abilities or he knows, hey, woman, you're going to prom in a Lincoln. Because the Lincoln's right there in the picture. He could have stood anywhere. He didn't stand in front of a Camaro. No. That Lincoln's got a big back seat. I'm just saying. All right. So now we're done with everything that I had to talk about. What do we have between the sheets? What is anybody saying? Have you guys copied and pasted any questions from across the board tonight?
I will look. You hydrate real quick.
Hydrating.
Sweets asked way back when, anyone following the Karen Reed trial? If so, do you think guilty, innocent, framed, or do you just think there's too much doubt to convict?
I have not been following that.
All right.
Like I told you, most of those things, I skip over that. I got so much else going on, but yes.
Sammy Jo made a comment about that Disney picture. She goes, I knew they changed it, but I didn't know why. And the 7th park is being built in Dubai. That's why, about the gays, they not liking gays or whatever that was. Danny H for $5. Gen X trivia. If questioned, what would the local gentry say is elementary? Hint, TV show theme.
What would the local gentry?
Yeah, GENTRY.
Say is elementary.
Say is elementary. Ooh, did he stump you?
I've got, boy, just like I think there's a flavor running around my head about that, and I can't pull it down.
Oh, we'll come back to that.
I don't know. I'm lost on that one, and I think when I know the answer, I'm going to say I should have known that.
All right.
All right, what else you got?
Cricket for $4.99. Berserker 70 and I are so happy for your health, General. That's what she said.
Thank you. Things are improving.
Christian Dvorak, member for 24 months, got my big blue too. Great job, General. That's what she says.
Great job, General, because I've lured you in for 2 years. I will pat myself on the back, Christina Dvorak.
I think it might have been about your weight loss.
Oh, I thought she was talking about that I was keeping her around for 24 months. The handsomeness factor. I mean, to be fair, I know you guys are drawn to this. I know, and it's unfair what I put out there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not really my fault. I can turn this down, but I can't turn it off.
All right.
I do apologize.
So, Danny's the last question. Do you know what it is?
No, I'm lost on that.
Lots of people, even on Rumble, are stating love and marriage. What's your other hint? Love and marriage.
Yeah, horse and carriage. I don't get the.
We'll take it up with Danny H. I'm just...
Yeah, must have not picked up on that line of the intro song.
Okay.
It was a good pull, though. Good job, Danny. I would go along with it. I should have known that one. That's right up the alley.
The sheets are clean.
The light is green. The trap is clean. The sheets are empty. My wife is to your left and my right. Are we done for the evening?
We are done.
I'm going to sign off. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Another Bottom of the Glass Nation show has been expired for about 2 minutes now. We've gone over. We're into overtime. We're going to have to submit our time cards to get paid for that shit. Anyway, thank you guys for listening in. Not sure where you tuned in from around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember 2 things in life. Number 1, wherever you go, well, there you are. Number 2, I'll catch you guys on the flip side, baby. I'm out.